no trip, fomos ver um show em Broadway, Chicago, foi bem legal. Então, a casa é como tá. Muito obrigada. E agora eu tenho que recuperar todo o trabalho que eu não fiz, assim. Uhum. E agora vamos viajar um mês, basicamente todo o mês de agosto, vamos comprar um van em que pode morar, daí eu vou colocar as coisas do meu livro do lado, daí vamos ir em Canadá, de Toronto a Vancouver, todo assim, e depois Washington, Oregon e Califórnia, assim, todo o lado pacífico dos Estados Unidos. Sim. Bem, não, ele vai estar dirigindo, o livro não só vai estar de comprar, mas não vai sair até janeiro. Então vai ser como todo mundo, assim, bem no lado do van, eu vou colocar o capa do livro e a coisa o segundo livro, sim, e a coisa que as pessoas podem, pedir o livro. Mas aí eu vou ter também o outro livro para vender. E todas essas coisas que eu tô fazendo. Então, basicamente. E eu vou colocar todos nos meus impostos do negócio. Toda basicamente é só vacação da minha as férias da minha família, mas aí eu vou colocar tudo no negócio do Knitting Cult Lady. Assim, eu vou alugar o negócio vai alugar um van do do família, assim, por $250 por dia. Daí nos meus impostos. Telling her about how I'm putting my whole family's vacation on my business tab because we're getting the Knitting Cult van, and we're doing Knitting Cult family road trip. Speaking several languages is my superpower. Never beat the psyop. Accusations now. Yes, love. Mm. You go, love. Mm. Okay. Just be careful where you go with no pants on. And actually, this was Portuguese. My voice sounds even more different in Spanish. And fun fact, they've done studies that we think differently in different languages. Like when you are learning German, Daniela, trying so hard, you're thinking more bureaucratically. And when you are uh, speaking, you know, the Romance languages, like my voice gets softer. I've never had to do the captain voice in, Brazilian Portuguese. So that's nice. Thanks, this dress. So some of it looks like a piece of art. So like I'm an artist. I finally realized that at about the age of 35 when my husband said it. And I was like, oh my gosh. I had already sold many paintings at this point, by the way. Um, but like when I was a kid, the one thing that wasn't safe to do was like draw, right? And then when I was 12 and I was really getting into drawing, I was drawing like a woman tied to an altar with Satan standing over her, right? So wasn't safe. And so I would do these like abstract, like scribble pictures. And so, anyways, this is my scribble picture dress. And now I just monetize all my art. Um, so yeah, different energy in Spanish. I can think in Spanish. And actually, I think one of the reasons I was able to keep my Spanish and Portuguese alive through kind of like decade of not using them was just thinking. I'd be like, okay, today's thinking Spanish day, today's thinking Portuguese day. And then also in the military, especially when I was deployed, when I was in basic training and then when I was deployed, because you don't want people to read anything you're writing down, like, so I would always write the parts I didn't want anyone to understand in Portuguese and like compare the Portuguese and my bad cursive like nobody. Drill sergeant tried it. He's like, "Oh yeah, well we'll get the Spanish speaking drill sergeant." She came over and she was like, "Nah, I mean I can tell you some of these words, but this is not Spanish." Um. Oh yeah. Um. This morning I had a very on point purple outfit that I was going to wear for my week 25 of the Trump administration. And then I came downstairs and my phone was like, "You're supposed to be at the VA in 30 minutes." And so I live exactly 27 minutes away. And I was like, okay. So I made coffee, I threw this on, and I ran to the VA. Yes, love. No, I'm using them right now for my work. You are not supposed to be on screens until 11:30. I also made this weekend. I made a bunch of these. And I just took scarves, like, I just took the scarf and I made it wearable. I put all this together, and this is my single crochet stitch. Hey, I've given you options. Okay. I have to work, so you do not need a screen. No. And I made this. Someone sent me this scarf. Cameron, if you're there, I love it so much already. And then I made this one with just another scarf that I had. I know this one is never gonna be for sale, and I know this one will probably be for sale. Um, and I'm good like, right now, they're just wearable, but I'm also gonna put sleeves on it. But also, these are, like, great travel projects for me because especially if you're crocheting the sleeves, like, as long as I keep them matching, I crochet a few rows on this side, I crochet a few rows on this side, tie it off, tuck it in, at every point, it remains wearable. Also, if all you're doing is this, right? Because then it's a long flowy vest thing, right? This one, I cut it too high up. I'm still learning, but I'm gonna put a crochet lace thing on here so that it's not as slippery, but it's also kind of cute when it's slippery. Um, but this, right? It was wearable, but it's still a scarf, right? Like you didn't lose that option either. So he is doing school. You are very aware that this is a Monday. This is a work day for both of us. And you are responsible for entertaining yourself right now on some analog time. Why don't you go work on the dog bed? You can bring it down here and work and hang out with us. You're saving that for the bus? Okay, well, work on a different project. Oh, look what my daughter figured out. This is gonna make me so much money. I was just throwing these away, these little loops, because they're terrible for making jewelry with, because they don't stay together. But they're quite good for pissing off the patriarchy. Mm. Ha, ha. Well, anyway, um, nope, this dress is from a thrift store, of course. I actually, at one point, had 2 dresses that were very similar. So then I took the other one and I cut it open and turned it into a jacket. We'll see it in the winter. Maybe not though, because in the winter we're gonna be in like red, white, and blue phase. All right, breakfast. That's what I need. Have you had breakfast? Would you like some Cheerios? Would you like some Cheerios, Senora? Cheerios?
No, no Cheerios.
No? Okay.
No Cheerios.
Then I need you to that's what you need to do. Apply yourself to figuring out what you're gonna eat for breakfast. No, you're not gonna eat chocolates for breakfast. What else are you gonna have? There's bananas over there. There's peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Mm. Um, yeah, so the first thing I have to do today is look at White Woman Whispers notes on the book, incorporate those, hit the deadline we missed, and then well, and then meetings, but I also have to package up some jewelry. Mm, okay. Where did father put computer? Yeah, just, keep your face dark. No. Um, actually, hang on, maybe I do. Maybe. Not very dark one. There you go. Okay, cool. Okay. And now, hopefully, we have all the stuff.
This is a Republican dog.
Okay, I'm turning them around.
I'm happy.
And you ordered something from me. It'll be going out today.
Puppy.
I've got the sunset earrings.
Mama.
We got a Princess Jasmine necklace,
Because
love
they're
bomb
a
color,
puppy.
and Happy Pride earrings. This is the Republican puppy. Yeah, his name is Style. And he's probably gonna get a call out on the side of the van as the Republican. Can you please, like, keep the dog away from my cereal? Like, I shouldn't have to say that to you.
Has raisins in it. And it's my calculations. Doctor. The puppy's name is
According to our calculation. All right. I'm gonna need you to let me sit there.
I like very my Cheerios. What?
Okay. I need my seat, please. No,
Wait, can you scooch that seat over so I can?
thank you. This was also gonna go with my awesome purple outfit today, but it's okay.
That one.
Um, I mean, you're the one that put it in my room, I assume,
Wait,
because you didn't
wait,
want to
what?
deal with it. So I was like, I'm going to wear this. Or manuscript.
Here's my Cheerios.
Okay. Plans for the day. This one will either get invited to the swimming pool by someone, or we'll go with her dad when he's done with his school.
Yay.
And mommy will work to catch up on
Knitting cat lady.
gallivanting about New York for two.
Oh, if you ever get it, if you if you ever get a cat, you should call it. Yes, and I do need my own show. I really do. Republican dog
We
behavior.
don't make child actors in this house, and we don't monetize children.
Well, I should have my own show. Yes, Republican dogs.
We went, like, to Stonewall Inn and saw that, and we were, in New York during Pride Month. We were not there for the weekend because we're not that wealthy yet. Um, she is not a Leo, no. She does look very leonine, I told her. Her coloring was tawny.
Look, don't laugh at me. People are saying that you're behaving, and you're just gonna throw that all away.
Okay. So, open the document. Hopefully, I have access to my own book this time.
You've
Last week
gained
it
a
was
lot
rough.
of people.
All right.
And
All right.
we
We put it into reviewing mode. Okay. What about people being mad at me?
style is beautiful. It's not good.
So we are
Putting my hair on.
taking a trip, the Knitting Cult family van trip, if you will. We're gonna buy an RV. Mr. Knitting Cult Lady went and looked at one this weekend, but he decided not to get that one. So we're probably getting another one this weekend. Um,
Digging his face because he doesn't want. He has stage fright. He's camera shy.
and then we're gonna drive through Canada.
So look, that's you. See your reflection?
We're
That's
gonna
you.
drive through Canada
That's you, little puppy. That's you.
all the way across Canada.
That's your reflection, buddy. That's your reflection.
And then we're gonna drive down the Pacific coast. And we're gonna be like
Look, that the heart.
mm, we haven't gotten the RV yet. Mr. Knitting Cult Lady put on his coveralls and climbed all over one and decided he didn't feel great about it mechanically. So he was going to trust his gut.
Mm,
Um, we are gonna go through LA.
it's a bar.
I
If
just
I said that
don't
correct.
understand how to get to. But she won't let us watch live action Lion King.
No, I watched something else.
Oh, bright orange. Yeah. 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 Well, now I just carry bags of scrunchies around with me. So if you
Of
ever
course she does.
meet me in person, I have,
He'll give you
I
a
have something to
crunchy.
give people. I have Knitting Cult Lady scrunchies to give out. I call these my hair controls ties. So even because cults are always controlling your hair.
This
So
will chill.
even when you're trying to control your own hair, you can still be uncontrollable. Yeah, please take the dog away from where I'm eating. I've asked you this so many times.
Oh, it's in the fridge. Stay in.
Okay, so we don't really have my women whispers comments. Um, we have to package up some jewelry, and then we have to sign 2,000 more pieces of paper.
Clap, 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 clap.
So,
What?
that's always for funsies. Okay, I gotta get packaging stuff. Huh? Yeah. I mean, I like how it looks inside. Want be a couple in the 50s. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Places to work. What are you shouting at me about?
The friends from home.
Yeah, our big plans for the summer is we're gonna buy a van and we're gonna drive across Canada and then down the Pacific coast. And we're gonna try to get all the way to San Diego. We have about exactly a month. And then basically everywhere we stop, not everywhere, but in big places, we're gonna be like, hey, you wanna come out and come to X RV park for knitting cult happy hour BYOB. Come hang out. Um, so what French reference did you do?
I'm like Chandler staying along with Erica.
I
Nobody can
think
hear me
it's
both.
time for us to get you, and I'm not going to see which one hurts worse. I know there's labor and labor. I
I know.
wonder if we have to like get more into that still because part of the labor that cults always want from us is, labor. All right. So here is a
Wee.
little love bomb color that's gonna go find itself a nice home.
Whoops.
Um, okay. KCB. We've sold all of the KCB edition earrings, except for this one pair that I'm still after her for that she made.
In my bathroom, you can get them if you want. Actually, I don't know where they are. The last place I
I put
saw them.
some
That
new collars in the. Oh, there we go. Sent
puppy
me
feet. Oh,
the dogs.
Sal doesn't want to show.
I put some collars
See, why would
in the shop of the other one.
I'm
Um,
like,
and now a note. You want to show these arts that you did for people? Look at that. Look at that little diamond.
Diamond Art 101.
I hope this
Da-na-na,
custom
da-na-na-na.
love bomb
Ah, you're slipping, you're slipping, you're slipping.
helps, not makes you. Helps you feel unique and bold. Hey,
Da-na-na-na, done, da-na, done, da-na-na,
Well,
da-na-na-na-na-na.
well,
Surprisingly, Style hasn't tried to fight me yet. Actually, he's tried, but he hasn't. Da-na-na-na,
bean.
done, done, da-na-na-na, 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 done,
Yep.
done, da-na-na-na,
So
da-na-na-na.
Mini has 1 week out of camp, and then she's going to have 2 more weeks of gymnastics camp, which is very exhausting.
Done, done,
And then
da-na-na.
that's it. Basically, we're loading up into the Knitting Cult RV and driving away. So
Spelling game.
that's chapter 20, which one's that? Oh, that's camp followers, I think.
Wait.
Published part of that in the Return magazine.
Da-na-na-na, done, da-na-na.
Mm. Our style is impeccable. Did you hear that style? And having some little stickers made of Knitting Cult Lady logos that I'm gonna have. Hey,
I want.
cuter stuff too. Close everything up with. The dog's name is Style. As in, never going out of style. We're never going out of style. Oh, maybe we need to play them the musical song.
No,
I
I'm gonna go hide the guitar.
think we might need to. No, no, stop, please. I've got to pause YouTube first. I'm very into crochet right now, though. So we've been doing. Okay,
I really am.
we have circular logic earrings. Oh, let's see if we have a scrunchie that matches that. This is my bag of scrunchies. Never know what to say to people when I meet them in the wild. So now I just pull out my bag of scrunchies and offer them a scrunchie. It seems like everybody likes it, even the men. Mm, OPSEC, operational security, because your identity is yours and you are the one that decides if you're going to be public about it, and you get to decide that.
Nice.
And you get to decide that when you're an adult. Ugh, why is there a peanut butter lid in my work box?
Well,
Can we not have that? Can we not have that be a thing, please? No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm getting the guitar. I'm getting the guitar. Look at you. So
towards I promise.
we wrote a song for the musical, and I still don't have all the in between stuff worked out. But basically, there's the big opening of the musical, and then they all walk off with the lieutenant, follow me, lead the way. And then the lieutenant comes back in. She's like, position of attention. And she's like, all right, we're going to learn the thing a military calls a cadence, also known as a call and response. We use this for staying in step. We use this for XYZ. And of course, we use it for programming our people.
Hubby, you're gone.
And then she says, now you haven't heard this yet, so don't try to sing along. Don't try to sing
Like,
along.
so don't try to sing. Don't sing
So
along.
don't sing along. When I say, is it a cult? Is it a cult? You say, call it what you want to. Please. Is it a cult? Is it a cult? Call it what you want. And now we're gonna set it to a sick beat. Is it a call? Is it a call? Call it what you want. Call it what you want to. Alcoholics Anonymous. Call it what you want to.
Learn how to.
7-day Adventures. Call it what you want to. Jehovah's Witnesses. Everyone agrees about you. Every branch of the military. Call it what you want to. Homeschoolers. Call it what you want to. Mormons. Call it what you want to. Herbalife, call it what you want to. No. Catholics, don't you know that evangelicals hate you? Call it what you want. Call it what you want to. Insert your group here. Call it what you want to. You'll see. It'll be stuck in your head all day. And it'll be fun, right? Because it's like the the person playing the main character will just be able to go with it for as long as they want, as long as the crowd's like playing into it. Twins from universe, call it what you want to. MAGA. Be past and just sit down and don't talk anymore. No, we're not reading today. Well, actually, I think White Woman Whisperer did just send me her comment, so we might we might be reading. But I think I think it'll be like Wednesday that we do some more reading. Let me finish packing up these. Finish pack- Okay. Ooh, and where are they? Somewhere there's me. The new post office lady likes, so I have to find them and bring them to her. Okay. I wasn't aware that we only cast spells on Fridays, but There will be a sushi and bitch in July. Um,
What did it have to spell?
it mostly got canceled by accident. I tried to never cancel that. Also meeting, I think tomorrow with a yarn supplier and hoping to launch a little Love Bomb Collar of the Month club.
How do you
An
spell
altar?
the
You have to make your own altar. All right, so earrings and scrunchie. Um, he was in the military. In fact, I'm one of the first women to have a memoir on the mass market that is about the military, because supposedly it couldn't be done. They said, "Baby, you gotta fake it till you make it," and I did. Thank you for reading my story or listening to it. I am now reminded to talk more about the audiobook, which is outselling everything but Sherry Frankie's memoir. So, gotta love that. I'm super Googleable. Daniela Mestinek Young, however you spell that. You can find all of that competency checking you expect me to do. I'm not gonna sit here and give you my credentials. I wrote a best-selling book called Uncultured. You can just read the description in Amazon and it will tell you all about me. That's change my outfits as many times as I need. I write it all off on my taxes. Including the yarn. Checkered black and rainbow dress on a Facebook. It's not me that made it, no. Don't have to read the book or listen to it. It's all in there. All of these questions. Earbags. People have been trying to make the case so hard that because I have a book to sell, I'm a cult leader. And it's interesting to me that some people have never seen non-deceptive sales. I mean, they have, right? They don't walk into Costco and go, "Is this a cult? It's trying to sell me something." But they've not seen like influencers out here doing it. And I think that's partially because I'm building the road for that. Um, I'm okay with people misunderstanding it. It's actually funny to me when people who have followed me for a long time read the book and then they're like, "Oh, wow, it was a 5.0 book." Because I went and created a really good product I thought could help people. And then I'm out here selling it. Oh, Anna, I think it's funny you don't know that you're just typing money into my bank account with your hate comments. Have a day. Mm. Got my nose pierced, y'all. Oh, it's gonna make me so much money. Oh my god, it's so deliciously predictable. Just sad. Yeah. It's my channel. I can cry if I want to, and you can't do anything about it because this is how I make my money too. Mm. Mm, delicious. Mm. Nose piercing, dyed hair, got a couple fake septum rings. Mm. Yeah, they think they're affecting anything. It's so cute. Yeah. So it's interesting because someone was like, "Is making America great again a cult?" And that's the mission, right? That's the ideology that powers the cult. That's the mission they've weaponized. We're going to make America great again. The cult is the group that manipulates you and takes your labor every time. Yeah, it's to sell my book. It's to help me develop my new book. It's partially because I got so accused of not writing my own book that I was like, "Well, I'll write the next one in front of Dr. Taylor Allison Swift and the whole world." Um, and it turned into, like, creating a great product together that I'm so excited to share with you all. But, like, I don't know if I've told y'all about vampire time. So, in vampire stories, right, vampires pretty much live forever. Unless they're on purpose killed, and they keep having to reinvent themselves, right? But so they end up generally being, like, very skilled and very wealthy and having great wine collections, because they have time to just develop different things. So I did this very deliberate journey to divorce my time from my money, and it took me 5 years, and I'm putting a lot of this into the class. Um and then when I got my book deal, that was kind of like, boom, my time. And I spent a lot of time reading vampire stuff. And so I'm like, vampire time, right? Like right now, I'm knitting Cult Lady, right? Before I was a soldier. Before that, I was something else. And before, once upon a time, I was trafficked as a carnival clown through Mexico. Um, hello? Hello? Nothing. Um, but yeah, and it's just like, I'm here right now, I'm doing this, and then at some point, if this stops being fun, I'll stop being knitting goat lady and I'll go be something else, you know? I'm writing a musical and I have a fully funded GI Bill, so I kind of am looking forward to being a master's degree student at University of Maryland and just working on my musical. Um, but it's like people have this thing, and I think that's because the creator industry is so culty and it is so creepy, right? That people don't like being sold to, right? Like we've all interacted with MLMs, we don't like being sold to. And it's just like I got one piece of important data out of the publishing industry, which is people need 7 interactions with your book to decide to buy it. And so I'm here giving away free expertise because I'm building a list of people who want to buy my books and buy my stuff that I make. And because it's fun. Because I literally got up when I went to start writing Culting of America, and I was like, my life's fascinating. And I wonder if people want to know all of this stuff from this huge research project I'm going to do. And I think people, it's actually like because of the transparency, like to them, that's proof that it's a greater trick instead of it just being like, people all the time are like, "Thank you so much for all the free content you make." And I'm like, "I make tons of money on here." Like, I'm doing this because it's my special interest topic, because I can make good money knitting and talking to the internet and writing books once in a while. And like, that's why I'm here. And actually had a journey to understand that I'm so into having missions that I need to like demissionize myself and be like, it's great that my stuff helps people. I love that. I love hearing about that. But like my mission in life is for Mr. and Mrs. Knitting Cult Lady to have a good life, and Knitting Cult Baby and or probably the Republican dog too. Um, yeah. So anyway, and at the end of the day, I really think because now that I employ people, I understand it even better. I'm like, you can't have a cult if you pay people very, very well. Overpay them for their time and their expertise and their energy. So I don't mean like give them $300 and 100K a year and then expect everything from them, right? But just like actually always giving people more money. It is fun that you see me as a woman with blue hair whose opinions are insane because of the blue hair, y'all give me approximately $10,000 a month. Just being here on the internet and letting you tell me how stupid I am because I have blue hair, $10,000 last month. Please tell me how stupid I am. Yeah, you don't wanna know, do you? Mm. It's almost like I get paid in views and comments. Almost like I went and got this nose piercing because I knew it would pay for itself in like, "Oh, it already has." Clutch your man pearls and cry. Oh, alright. Back to yes, we packed up everything. Okay, back to editing. Mm. Just gonna be so easy to beat in the revolution. Like, you're not even gonna like give us a fight. All we have to do is have blue hair and you don't consider us to be intelligent grown adults? Awesome. Mm. You cannot pay to have people underestimate you the way that MAGA does if you're just like someone who doesn't fit their appearance policing. Call it what you want. Call it what you want to. Women aren't listening to you anymore, or call it what you want to. And the ones that shut up because they realize commenting on my blue hair makes me money, then the other ones come in right behind them. So we can like all see you all doing it in real time. It's just like cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Yeah, I used to have to pay money to be blonde. Now my hair dye pays for itself because y'all just can't stop yourself from being obsessed with me. Thanks, by the way. Love it so much. I need to understand the comment. Yeah, making fun of blue hair and trying. I mean, it's just like, and it's because it's become part of their slur, right? Blue-haired, basket weaving liberal. And this is, I mean, part of why I make so much money is I'm just their literal worst nightmare. I'm a literal basket weaving, blue haired, liberal arts holding woman with military experience, a master's degree from Harvard, and a best selling Macmillan book. And they just can't do anything but sit there and choke on their hatred. Um, and it's glorious. I keep the sounds of that in my happy place right next to where I keep the sounds of passing men on a run up a hill, and their sounds just die. White Americas. White. Uh-oh. No, no, no. Undo. No, I don't have to prove anything. You don't actually matter at all. No one out and went out and found you and like recruited you to be here. Nobody's trying to convince you to stay. It's actually pretty embarrassing for you that you just announced like you have no idea where you are. And I don't have to prove myself to people. That's what happens when you can just say, Google me, Daniela Mestenek Young, however you spell that. I'm that Googleable. I will be making money from that when you are gone. Okay, so when I read out Mama's comments, that was useful. So we are going to be reading out White Woman Whisperer's comments as we put them in a document. So different kind of comments because Mom was more like the comments were more like her deconstructing through reading. Um, this one this was actually the sensitivity read, and I should actually change things that she has called out. So that's what we're doing there. Um, I was ready to change things that mom called out also. There just weren't things. Oh yeah, it's extra fun to snark at them because like they didn't have to be like that. And like I know that I don't look like a former army captain with a master's degree from Harvard and a best-selling book and someone who made history for women and has an award from a president, Obama. Like, I know, but you didn't have to underestimate any woman. Nobody nobody made you just show up and underestimate someone today. Like you just didn't have to look that silly. But you made that choice and now we're all dealing with it. Okay, so I didn't spell Haley Bieber's name right. Oops. Okay, so change that. Okay, then I say our commitment to these business, political, or cultural gods has only increased in intensity as the world has increased in noise. And she says, not ours. So I'm going to change that to white America's. Comments are going to lose their mind. This will be fun for me. White America's commitment. Okay. Um, I have a I have a very great assistant already. But stay tuned. What part of what I'm doing here is building a model for women with expertise to just do what they want and make tons of money from it. These are white women whispers edits, yes. When I say Black Americans flocked to Jones's congregation, maybe it's more correct to say convincing hundreds of Black Americans to join. convincing hundreds of Black Americans to join his congregation, helping to build a church that was integrated to a level unheard of at the time. Oh my God. He adopted Black babies and he called them his rainbow family. Yeah, cults adopt a lot of children. It's awful. Jim Jones had 4 skinny white women. So my phrase is, what was it about the skinny white woman that was necessary to the success of the cult leader and their establishment of coercive control? To get my knitting. So check it. Of course, we are making the vest better, the Looney Tunes vest that we got thrifting in New York City. So they're gonna be like really wide short sleeves, and one side's gonna be green, one side's gonna be hot pink, and then there's gonna be purple around the neckline. And it shall not be for sale. Um, okay. Yeah, the lots of money part. Okay. So here's how I explain it. So first of all, the one thing I will ever admit to learning from Jeff Bezos is make it easy for people to put money in your hands. Right. So my commitment is I will figure out everything on the back end. I will just make it easy for you to give me money. This is why I'm on my 10th account on TikTok, because it's the easiest one to get money. Because they've made it very easy. So if you can, you have to make a product. If you want to divorce your money from your time, you have to make money with a product that can sell while you're sleeping. Okay, so my path to doing that has been multifold, and this is what I'm teaching. But here's an example that I'm working on right now. If you're a white collar worker, you sell your brain for money. If you sell that to a company, we call that a job. Right. If you sell that directly to clients, we call that consulting. Okay. So, this process that I'm building of how you turn your story into a book, a brand, and a business for $3,000, I can walk you through that in 1 to 2 years. Okay. That's a service. For now, I'm building a class that I'm going to launch this fall where for $400, you can be part of this 3-month course where we're, doing it as a group. Um, okay, that's still a service, right? I still can only have 15 people in this class. Okay, so that's still tied to like your time and your ability to scale. However, I'm also, as I'm building this class, just sitting down and doing a 10-part series of hour-long videos telling you about how I did it. And those are available right now as I make them if you want to join my Patreon subscription community, or when it's done, when I launch the class, it's a service that's limited. I'm also going to put this out for like 30 bucks that you can just watch and get a bunch of ideas and then go do it yourself. And so that's a product that can sell while I'm sleeping as many times as it wants to over and over again. Digital products are great. I have a culty knitting patterns book. Just prints 5.99 into my account. Um, then I'm also going to, once I run this course once and get the kinks out of it, I'm going to hire a videographer and we're going to make it like a Udacity course or something, right? Like an asynchronous course that now you can take for $200, right? So I've taken this service first of all, and made it into 2 different products at 2 different price points. And then I've also sorry, 2 different services at 2 different price points. And then I've also turned it into 2 products. And those products, once they are created, can just sell forever, right? So now it's just like fun for my family because every time we go out and spend money, I'm also selling books at the same time. Um, so getting that, right? And I'm trying to again build a model where I can like help other women and femme creators like get to that level. Um, and then for me, it's like, and then one product is still just like one brick in your empire, right? So now you want like multiple different things. So for example, I make a bunch of money selling handcrafts. That's limited. That's only as scalable as I can do. Like there's going to be a bundle with Quilting of America that you can purchase a pair of earrings made by me. Um, that's all. It's going to be a random pair of earrings, and I'm going to make 300, and there's going to be 300 available. Um, However, a book is a unlimited product as long as you figure out how to keep it in print, right? So that's why having a book is such a powerful tool, and I'm shocked that more creators don't like create products to sell. Um, yeah, and then you go from there, and just packaging different pieces. I have channels now that are monetized and make money while I'm sleeping, right? As long as I like, but you still have to do the work every day. Um, but then, soon I'm gonna have two books. Like come August, I'm gonna have two books and a class that's selling. And oh, I have book clubs that I sell through the Patreon, right? So these are all different products and services. And like most importantly, I didn't ask anyone for permission to do this. I was just like, I know these things. I'm gonna go put this in the world. And while I was doing that, I had just been in entrepreneurship, seeing all of these incubators and all of these things that are about developing entrepreneurs, sort of like the white boy tech way, and nothing as far as like developing this stuff. So, um, no, no ma be disi dubama. I know from like past conversations with you, like I already know you need to write a book. And I already know that this is what I'm trying to do. Is like if you have a book, that's your product and that's your expertise, especially if you tuck the right themes into your book, right? Now I'm like, so like I was studying group behavior when I wrote Uncultured. So I've tucked all of these different themes into Uncultured. And I can be like, oh, yeah, I wrote a book about that. I'm writing a second memoir this fall. I'm going to do it alongside the class. And it's about whiteness, power, privilege, otherness, and what it means to be an American. Those are all things I'm going to have written a book about. And now I'm an expert on that, right? Um, and I think that we don't think enough about the process of like, who are you going to market it to? Who are you going to sell it to? And how are you going to get that out to them? I happen to be a strange artist that really likes to sell. I just think I'm an entrepreneur. Um, and it doesn't have to be a book, right? But there are ways to like take your stuff and turn that into money. And just quite frankly, right, y'all, there's a guy on the internet. He looks like an ex like baby Mormon. He reads one-star reviews and then he goes to those places, goes to those restaurants, goes to those hotels, goes to those airlines and experiences them and can only do a five-star review but can't lie. That's his job. He just made that up. And I just sat there one day with Knitting Cult Baby and watched it for 3 hours. And he was flying on like the most expensive airline in the world, all paid for. And it was just like, ladies, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Right? When I said, I'm going to build a thing. And they said, oh, yeah, what's your unique value proposition? I said, me. And everyone laughed at me and said, that's not scalable. And I said, yes, it is. Oprah. Martha Stewart, Taylor Swift, like you the biggest thing in business, even in entrepreneurship, is like the what's called the blue ocean strategy, the markets that nobody has touched before, right? Nobody predicted how lucrative the market of talking about cults while knitting was. But here we are, and now everyone's like, "This is genius," right? So and now other people will come get in the market, and that's fine. Um, but for now, right, I created this blue ocean strategy, and I can put out what I want. And one of the things that I realized is because I built a channel to just give away my expertise, which means that people are interested in the things that make up my brain. And so, and a lot of that you can't replicate. Like you can't go back and grow up in Children of God. You can't go back and deploy as a woman to Afghanistan, right? But when I say, oh, you can read this book that I'm reading right now, check out Hey White Women, or sorry, White Women Get Ready in my shop, people are like, oh yeah, sure. And all of it is legitimate, right? Like, yeah, it's my job. I'm making money from it, just in the same way any salesperson is making money from their job. But I'm not deceiving you. I've just created a audience that is interested in interesting things, honestly. And because I study toxic groups and toxic group behavior, it's very relevant to everything. So I kind of looking back, I'm like, I'm your run of the mill leadership speaker, group behavior specialist. I just decided to bet that everyone's had as many bad experiences as good ones, and I can talk to those. And also, I just realized I didn't care about trying to fix the groups. All the groups suck. I'm just going to help individuals understand like which ones suck the least. And yeah, curator. Like I hated the term thought leader. Absolutely hated it. I love the concept of content creator. Like I'm here creating stuff, doing stuff with my energy, right? Like packaging this stuff. I think what I've discovered is I'm helping the language build the language for the generic cult baby experience. And I love that. And it doesn't have to be done a specific way. Okay, I could think of countless aunties who fit this description. We're talking about the skinny white women. Blah. Jim Jones often bullying, including their weight. And I'm just going to put in parentheses. Jim Jones had four because Rebecca wants us to know that. This is an interesting choice of words. It's a proud woman who would never say a critical or colorful word. It is interesting. I keep it there because I'm specifically talking about race and how you stop being the skinny white woman while still living in her body. Okay, but look, about the writing, it's the least important part. It's also the thing I'm the least good at. I can write, I come up with some really good things, but also, like, I will never dedicate the craft to getting my writing to be beautiful. I pay people to help me with that. Same as I was last night, as my brother's helping me learn guitar, and he's like very, very good at it. And I'm like, I'm never going to be sitting here finger picking. Like, I'm going to learn the basics that are going to help me as I write my musical and understand this stuff. And then I'm going to help people. And if you have a story, you can write. I love this quote that like says every first draft is perfect because all a first draft has to do is exist. And one of the things I tell people is like, and as soon as you get your idea out of your head, whether that's for art or for business, you can pay other people to help you develop it. When I said I'm going to write a musical, everyone's first question is like, "Do you write music?" And I was like, "No, but I know a lot of cult babies." Like I'm going to find people to help me. There are several options. When I stood in my kitchen and said, "I'm going to write the next Educated. I'm going to turn my life growing up in a cult and the army into a story." There's a big idea here. I can either take 10 years developing this or I can go get help. And I just went and got help. Um And that is kind of what I'm trying to teach people is like you can do this, some of this outside of the system, even while you're doing it inside of the system. Like, I still sold my book the traditional way. I still was like a debut author, blah, blah, blah. But my book is up there with the big ones because I went and paid for help before I even brought my idea to the market. I got these tassels in New York City at like a bead store. So in love with them. And then I just made them into earrings yesterday. It's good. She doesn't have that many comments. Um, she told me tomorrow. So White Woman Whisperer and I finally met in person in New York last week. It's a very lovely gathering that we had, and we're excited to talk about it tomorrow. Yeah, you also write and you need someone else to organize, like a lot of that. Like I always say, like, I'm a decent writer. I'm just a terrible editor. And like anyone that is a good writer is a good editor of themselves. I'm just not. So I just pay people to edit me. And obviously some of that needs privilege, but that's what I mean when I say like I'm trying to build a system. Cause like one day I'm going to be sitting here with my millions and maybe I can be the one that invests in the next content creator, storyteller, you know, person. So that is what I'm trying to figure out. How we can just like build the matriarchy ourselves without waiting. It's like, did you know you can pay reparations without waiting for the government? You can just pay Black people more money, charge them less, and give them higher tips. I've said it for myself as my white privilege homework. And every time it just impacts me that this is nowhere near enough. What is Yiddish for drag around, not sell? Yeah, let's just change that to sell. Oops. Keep forgetting which document I'm supposed to be editing in. In addition to many things, white woman whisperer is Jewish. Okay, San Diego. We are going to try to get to San Diego on our knitting quilt trip, road trip. Um, yeah, hopefully, hopefully we make it. Mm. I'm doing my best. I'm traveling with a helicopter pilot who used to be a helicopter mechanic, who grew up fixing everything. Who's like dad designed some of the ferries in Seattle. So like he can usually fix it when it breaks down. And I don't have to drive for 1 second. So no, this whole like people bodies are being dumped in the stop. Stop. Yeah, stop. The kind of dog I have is Republican. He's a toy poodle. Yep, 25 weeks of MAGA. Your 25 weeks of MAGA. Y'all, if our government was dumping bodies in the ocean, they would also be unmitigatedly taking the life of anybody who knew anything about it. Like, stop, stop. Mhm. I'm not saying we're too good to be doing that. I'm saying if they were doing it, they would be killing you if you knew. So just stop. This is the same, like, my only comment to the whole psyop thing is, like, if this little girl had accidentally stumbled into the fact that I am a Fed out here doing high-level government psychological operations on you, she'd be in Guantanamo. That's how you know. Mhm. Not stripping people of their humanity, stripping people of their autonomy. Stripping people of their autonomy. Yes. I mean, the thing that has scared me the most on the left is the conspiracy, because, like, that is right where they want you to be. Like, when we say we live in a post-truth world. Yep, it's happening on all the sides. We're definitely on a march toward autocracy. I think they can't march that fast, and they're trying to speed run the authoritarian playbook, and it's just they're bad at it. My co-author editor wants to cut the tangent about Girl Scouts. Sending cookies is just a way to cover to soldiers is just a way to cover up labor. Um, slavery ended. Slavery ended. With the acceptance of criminality. Yeah, they're bad dictators, right? Like, even people are like, well, Stephen Miller's brilliant. No, he's not. And we have studies that show that fundamentalism damages the brain. Like, he might be the most brilliant person they have. Just like Book of Mormon might be the most brilliant musical written by Republicans, but it still sucks. Oh, what I'm scared of is how the left just panics with everything, every response. It's just like, stop, stop. Like, we were never going to go to war with Iran because Iran doesn't want to get absolutely stomped by the United States. I think senators, I think the cracks are starting. Yeah, the Republicans make are, yes, the South Park writers are Republicans, have come out so as such during the last Trump administration, I believe. Because, they're white boys who became multimillionaires. So, of course, they are. I'm sure they were libertarians for some adolescent period of their development, and now they're just unapologetically Republicans. Which is why, like, I found the Book of Mormon to just be, like, disappointing, because I was like, you just relied heavily on shock value of saying, like, raping babies over and over again, and, like, you could have hit a lot harder. We do have a whole video about the cat comment, but it's easy to repeat. The answer is I have 2 cats, and both of these pussies have more combat time than you do. I don't think wealth causes dementia. I think that there's a certain point, I think in this environment, we're just calling it $1 billion, where like you kind of are no longer human because everyone will just give you what you want and you can just change realities. Um, so I think there's a very like dehumanizing aspect here. Or oh, lie. Oh, or yeah, it's kind of like the cult leaders. Like they know that what they're doing is a game. They know that like they're making things up, right? Like Jim Jones knew he was staging his faith healings. Uh, but they also kind of believe that they're the one that can change the world. Like they're the one that can actually do it. So this is all just like in pursuit of that. Right. And that's where the ends justifies the means kind of mentality comes in. And my knitting cult baby and I talked about it when Tay Tay became a billionaire. Because it's like this whole like, yes, we judge women more harshly. Yes, we all this stuff, but like, why why are you becoming a billionaire? Like, oh, now you're gonna start using your money to change stuff? Like, you could have been doing it the whole time and then just never be a billionaire. Like nobody wants to eat Dolly Parton. Oprah, same. No, I don't think MAGA knows they're cruel. I think they say it's love, right? Like cult members say that their hate is love so much. Like that's part of the indoctrination. Oh, Daryl, you want to know what combat I've seen? I wrote 382-page book that has been at the top of many lists, cleared by the Pentagon, filed by the Library of Congress, even read it aloud for you on Spotify or anywhere else you get your audiobooks. Yeah. In case nobody's told you today, Daryl, I don't answer to you, and I do not care about what you think. Oh, did I like blah 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 in the army? Again, I wrote a whole book. I wrote a whole book analyzing my military experience. It's out there. It's even in over 500 libraries. You don't get to show up and demand that I talk to you about it, and you don't get to shame me for it either. Mhm. Like, oh, what are you gonna do? Call me a bitch? Please go read my chapter 23. I'm the bitch. Yeah, and I'm very gratified that, like, people love the audiobook. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done in 5 days, and I've been to war twice. Okay, apparently I need to more clearly define how an identity is not a group. Okay, I'll have to come back to that one probably when I don't have you all distracting me from comments. But let me say this. I don't think people listen to the sexism in their voices when they say, "Are Swifties a cult?" Because, like, it's an identity, and you never say that about sports fans. The same thing. It's an obsessive behavior. A behavior is not a cult, it's a behavior. But, like, you say it about things that women and children like. You don't say it about things that men like. Nobody's asking if Joe Rogan bros are a cult. Here, I'm gonna help you out with whether I've been to combat or not. In case you don't know, most recognizable symbol in the world for military. So if you don't know what this is, you don't need to be having an opinion. And if you do, you can stop with the competency checking. Have an effing seat. I don't have to prove anything to you. I appreciate your hate money though. I really do. I actually track it just so that when I'm in my happy place, I can think about it. Yeah. I'm sorry. Did you think you were my boss? No? Did you think you were my dad? No. Okay. I don't know why you think you can demand anything from me. Even my dad knows that he can't. The last time he tried to appearance police me because men wouldn't like me because I was getting too muscular, I looked him in the face and told him that dad, nobody's ever kicked me out of bed before. And you know what? He hasn't tried to appearance police me since then. And then basically she said that I should just also have a note up front being like, I understand that I'm a white woman and like I've done my best in this book, but I'm a white woman. So, all right. Those were the edits. Again, I haven't had that many edits from people because I wrote this whole book. The whole time I was writing this book, I was doing a year-long podcast with a Black woman, and I was putting, the learnings into what I wrote. So that's nice. Um, I just need to write a note about being a white woman. So, mm, mm, yeah. So, anyway. And this, right? Like, how do you know you're not doing the wrong thing right now? Is like you're not in someone else's chat room talking shit to them. Like, MAGA's ridiculous, but I'm not wasting my time telling them that they're stupid. Like, no, no. When you're the one going into someone else's space to call them names on the internet, you're not like you're the baddies. It's just you just kind of can just know that. Who ever knew that woman getting up on the internet and saying cults are bad would be so polarizing? But there we are. There we are. Yeah, I guess I need to sign a few books now. Baby, I'm perfect for you. It's like Just all of y'all in your life, just normalize being like, "No, I don't have to prove that to you." Like, "No, I don't have to give you a citation for this. No, I don't have to, like, I have a degree from Harvard. I have a graduate degree from Harvard. I don't have to prove that to you. If you're concerned, you're welcome to contact Harvard and ask them if that's true. Just like if you think I'm stealing valor, you are welcome to file a congressional and have them investigate it. I don't have to prove one thing to you." And that's true for everyone. That's not like just because I published a book. Like you don't have to prove things. It is a draft. Yeah. My my scribble picture draft. Marine Corps is a cult. I've written 2 books about the Army being a cult, and I always have to give, like, just a special call out to the Marine Corps, otherwise they'll show up and they'll be like, "No, but we're a worse cult." I also think it's funny because one of the, like, godmotheresses of cult scholarship, Margaret Singer, who, until me, had the most military experience because she was a psychologist who worked at West Point, and she was vehemently opposed to the concept of the military being a cult, and yet, in her defense, she chose the Marine Corps. 19 reasons the Marine Corps isn't a cult. And I'm gonna tell you all some things about experts that are expert on a topic they haven't experienced, right? Like I'm a better cult expert than I was a terrorism expert because I've experienced cults and I haven't experienced being in a terrorist group. And so I have less sympathy for them. So I'm going to miss things, right? The same way that Margaret Singer, because she was not in a cult, she said things like the Marine Corps can't be a cult because they teach you useful things and cults don't do that. And like, I'm sorry, even in 1995, we knew that that was a silly thing to say, right? But she just doesn't have at some level of sympathy or dehumanization that she doesn't have. And I see the same thing in Amanda Montell, another person who's put herself into the cult space who doesn't have firsthand cult experience. And she's just a little bit too flippant and she misses things like brainwashing is real. And she accidentally platformed cult apologists instead of actually finding out the real thing because she hasn't survived the cult. So she doesn't know that brainwashing is real. And it was just a little bit easier to be like these people, right? So, modern and old example. This is a knitting channel when I'm not signing 3,000 autographs. Usually in the morning, I'm packaging up my jewelry that I've sold and knitted the day before and or signing books. But also, this is my channel and I can do whatever I want on it. I have no contract with you that says I owe you knitting. Have a day. Yeah, I think they all understand that vacuums don't stay on forever. But if you don't understand that, you can scroll. Thank you. See the look and defire with or without the boobs on display. I promise you that if there was legitimacy to the ICE cargo planes, they would be picking you off if you knew about it. Promise. If you think we're there in our government, you better hide. That's my opinion on it. Right now, I am signing 3,000 3,300 actually, because you got to leave some wiggle room for things to get destroyed. Pieces of paper that are going to be printed into the next print of Uncultured, so that when you sell them to me, they just come out. When I sell them to you, they come out already signed, which is also going to let me go gallivant about the country for a month on the Knitting Cult family van tour. This can't happen now. I promise you, this is one of the best things I've ever heard about conspiracies. Conspiracy theories are always very big. Real conspiracies happen. That's what conspiracy theorists use for evidence, and they're very small. Like, if the US government was dumping people in the middle of the ocean and you knew about it, you'd be on the list. I don't know what it's about. We probably don't have enough information. I know it's not about dumping people in the ocean, and I know that nobody with special knowledge is on the internet telling you about it. Like, that's not how our country works. Yeah, and again, the process. If you believe that, contact The Hague. Like, please go get other governments involved. Like, oh, why so pale? Because I am a Slovakian flavored human that was raised in unmitigated sun exposure in a cult in Latin America and other parts of the tropics. So I was allergic to the sun by the age of 19. It's also why I look a decade younger than I am. With all the respect that left-handed salute deserved. You really think you're gonna find an insult. It is giving autism. ADHD, actually. Yeah. Very good about cults. I'm prepared to say I know more about cults than anyone else in the world, in fact. Thanks for noticing. Because that list isn't real, silly babies. Yeah. 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 These are these are the earrings. Okay, yes. I'll take you to the New York earrings. All right. So here we have those little butterflies. Uh these are just fun. I did not make them this week. And then yeah. So we got fabric tassels. But also now that I know you can make tassels out of fabric, there's definitely gonna be some scarfigans with matching earrings. Uh and then I have these lovely things in all my best colors. So scared of dropping them. It's pretty much what I made yesterday. Oh, gonna get choppy up again because screen time has returned. Um, don't think I'm selling the discs yet just because I want to wear them. But I do kind of think that when we go on Knitting Cult's van tour, I'm gonna be in all red, all white, and all blue outfit era. So then I might be just traveling with a box of this colorful summer stuff to product and plans. Slightly lacking on the blue outfits. I have a lot of red and white outfits. I'm excited for the, like, collars that I'm gonna make that are all one color, but are not all one color. It's gonna be very Yes, it is true that civilians are given rank in the military all of the time. I am one of them. I went in through what's called the direct commissioning program, where just because you have a college degree, they let you come in as a lieutenant. That's very popular. So we've all heard of that. Then there's groups of people that get to come in as captains. They don't even have to go to the identity breaking indoctrination. Psychologists being prime among them, lawyers, doctors, chaplains, and a lot of others given captain rank simply because of some civilian quality about themselves that they have developed. And then there's being given lieutenant colonel rank. I've mostly heard of this in like engineers with 20 years of experience or doctors with 20 years of experience. But also, like, it's just funny when it's like, why not? Like, Palantir's been in our government for 20 years. Civilians have been getting rank every day. Every president has done that. There's a whole job code in the military that's just any shit we need you to do. Anything we need someone to do. We give them rank when we want to be able to order them to not leave a war zone. This is why chaplains have rank, are in the military, so they can't leave because they're individual humans. They're not. So, and it pulls them under UCMJ. So it gives them like more guardrails than what they were doing before as civilians. So it's just kind of like, I mean, I have blue hair. You've already decided that you hate me as a liberal, so why are you even asking the question? Tenho que fazer 3.000 signaturas. Tenho que fazer 3.000 signaturas. Daí vai imprimir o livro já. Sim. Yeah, it's all the sensational media. It's all, um, Maryland weather does need to decide what it's trying to be. Yeah. I had to cancel the last happy hour because I was in New York City. The next one I'm gonna do in DC, and it's gonna be the last thing before we leave for the summer. So I need to figure out where is a place in DC that everybody wants to meet up. Yeah, the low attention span is hard when trying to read. Also, it's on Spotify Premium, so you can listen to me read it to you, or you can do it along with that. Um, so our right now van trip is going to be from DC to Toronto, but our stop's going to be in Toronto. Then we're going to go across Canada to Vancouver, stop in a bunch of places. Then we're going to go down the Pacific Coast Highway, and we're going to go inland. What, an hour for Portland, but that's it. Um, but in the fall, I'm gonna have a knitting cult van and still be in pre-sales for my book. And so maybe either we'll just drive up and do mini trips to places, or like I do need to do an event in Boston sometime. Boston's where all the Brazilians are. Such good Brazilian food in Boston. Mm. Oh, it's cute. Someone on YouTube is saying, I think this woman's pretty, but she wears a tad bit too much makeup. Oh, honey, I haven't worn makeup in months other than lipstick. But thanks for the amazing compliment. I love it. I love it. They just tell themselves. I literally just wake up like this. Yeah, but your liking was just incorrect. I'm not wearing any makeup. You're just full of it. You're so unfamiliar with what women look like, probably because they never hang out with you. But you secretly just called me beautiful without realizing. And that's amazing. I am only wearing lipstick and I do have amazing skin. Yeah. It's called being a Slovakian flavored human who's been allergic to the sun since they were 19. Congrats to you. I've been married for 10 years. You've still just called me beautiful without meaning to, and I appreciate you. And I also want to call you out on your bullshit and tell you that you don't get to police women's appearance. Sometimes I show up in full on drag makeup, and guess what? I don't care what you think. Literally do not care. Yeah. Not married to a cat per se, but I will tell you that both of these pussies have more combat time than you do. I know. I make money for saying that. Yeah. It is a free country, Craig, and you're free to say stupid shit, and women are free to slap you down. Slap on the peepee. Most of you have been needing that, and now it's starting to happen, and you're fricking the fuck out. Stop waving your peepees around everywhere, and we'll stop slapping them. Deal. No one thinks you're cute or funny. Nobody cares your opinion on their appearance. Literally, not one person on earth. Oh, shut up and put your money where your mouth is. It's really embarrassing that you could be so wrong. Ah, the men are not sending their best. Just waving their peepees all over the place, being embarrassing. Not a new account. This is account number 8, which makes it the oldest account I have open right now. I just was using it for a while, but I also couldn't shut it because I needed to pay my punishment time down. Mhm. Mhm. Oh, you can read or listen all about my combat time. It's in a best-selling book called Uncultured that you see me signing thousands of pages right now. So happy to help. Am I gonna tell you on demand for free? No, you silly koala. Man, the amount of money you all make me calling me trans, you're gonna enjoy patriotic drag era. Yes, you are. And you are gonna make me so much money. And guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give it to people that you hate. I'm gonna take your money. I'm gonna give it to black people. Yeah, I tip them better than I tip white people. just for being black. Your money. This little insult about me being trans, just going straight to black people. Hate that for you. No, come on. YouTube makes me so much money. Nobody can hurt me with their words. Their words. And only puny little people set out to try to hurt other people. Yeah, I know you tip on your service and not the color of skin, Craig. Yeah, we already know the kind of person you are. You told us, and we believed you the first time. I'm sure you think you're the most equal person, but you're waiting for the government to force you to pay reparations. Yeah, you're a great guy, Craig. So it's Craig. Craig and Greg and Jeff. It's like the white women that name their children that. Oh, he knows why I trigger him because I'm a woman with power and he can't do anything about it. Mm, all right. I suppose I'm gonna just feed myself and stuff. Yeah, I can obsess about whatever I want to because this is my channel. And why you're all hot and bothered right now is because you don't have 500,000 people that listen to you every day. You're so mad that I do. You're just so mad. There's literally nothing you can do about it because cancel culture is not real. Because you can't cancel me no matter how hard you try. Because you don't know where my power comes from. Oh, how silly that you actually work and you think that's some sort of downturn to me. I just make really good products and then sell them while I'm sleeping. Mm. Thinks he's gonna find something. Craig is so used to being able to get women to shut up. He just doesn't know what to do. He's just sitting there with this Johnson, like flapping around all crazy. Mm. Are those little dings? Just money. Every word you say. Every keystroke you make. With every slur and every insult you're paying for my vacation. As long as you like friends. Hate money is delicious. And I love it because they don't understand how social media works. So once you tell them, like, their only option is keep paying me to talk shit to me or shut up. Best. Oh, so good. Just imagine when I have the red, white, and blue hair for Culting of America era. Can we just imagine how they will squeal? They can lurk all they want. I get paid on views. They go away and they go like, watch all my content, trying to figure out something I said wrong. I get paid on views. No, this is not the second book. This is still Uncultured. We are commissioning our own print of Uncultured that is signed. And so I am literally hand signing 3,300 copies of this book and paid for it myself because I'm not bossy, I'm the boss. I got this dress at a thrift store. Yeah, so I have signed copies available in the shop in this account. Just, can't pin them because the stock is silly. MLMs are not cult-like. MLMs are cults. We call them commercial cults. The math doesn't math. The recruiting processes are deceptive, and they're about exploiting your labor. Yeah, it's that sort of it's that short and sweet. Same thing with like large group awareness trainings, right? Landmark, EST, anything that ends in Oni Robbins. The reasons that cult scholars warn against them is because they use cheap magician tricks to make you feel like you're having transformational experiences. And why? If you're actually having transformational experiences, why do they need to use cheap magician tricks? Like when people today, Jehovah's Witnesses tried it with me. Cult is just something our disgruntled ex-members. Why are they so disgruntled? What did you do to them? What did you do to them that is making them call you a cult? Like military men. Oh, false reporting. What did you do to her? If you didn't assault her, what did you do to her that is making her claim that you did? Businesses like Avon are multi-level marketing schemes. They are commercial cults. I want to say the FBI did a study that showed that only 1% of people involved in MLMs ever make money. Mormonism is also just like an MLM. I think that's why it's like the quintessential American religion. Happy Pride, everyone. So, closing out Pride, obviously, last day of the month. Then we're just going to be in the very colorful Try and come for my job era. Hey. Hey, B, think it's time to take your dog outside? They're all of you. Campaign problems, bro. Dancing with the Stars is Mormon. Oh, a guy dancing. Makes sense. Um, so much of these, like all of the reality shows where people get voted off. Healthy. I told you from the beginning. They don't call themselves reality TV, right? Because it's a bad name. So it's scripted. It's unscripted television. That's what we call it. I told you from the beginning. I was like, nope, I will not be involved with any vote you off the island shows. Not, not bueno. So I do think the prison system is a cult. Um, Prisons are definitely total institutions, just like cults. And one of the things about total institutions, so total institutions is when we live and work separated from the outside world with situated people for an extended period of time with some sort of formal round of life, right? And one of the things when we are removed from the rest of the world is we instinctively understand that our safety depends on fitting in with the group. This is why it's much harder to dress however you want in Midland, Texas than it is in New York City. So, yeah, yeah. You think I'm wrongfully opinionated? How embarrassing is it that you're spending your Monday morning with me? Like, like when they come on here and tell me that I'm giving cult vibes, I'm like, if a creator is giving cult vibes, you should be gone. You should not be arguing with them. Mm. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I too opinionated for you on this channel that I built to share my opinions? Yeah. Clutch your man pearls and cry yourself to sleep. I'm sorry that I have more military experience than one of my little ovaries than you have in your entire chubby little man body, and that makes you so uncomfortable. I'm sorry about that, actually. You would have washed out very quickly. That puny toxic masculinity. Hey, B,
Yes.
I know you can hear the dog being very upset, and I know you know it's your turn. Thank you. Mm. Well, you can't forcibly deconstruct people. You can't even forcibly crack people's brainwashing. And just because people's brainwashing cracks and they leave the cult doesn't mean they deconstruct. So, yes. No. Just call your dog. Yeah, we're not talking about torture. Nobody was asking me about torture as a way of breaking people. Like, stop. Gross. You're getting me confused with the men who do cult work, who think that deprogramming, kidnapping, and torturing someone is fine just because they decided they're in a cult. I need y'all to just really think more about this question. If you really think that your government is shackling immigrants and dropping them into the ocean, you should be a lot more scared of your government than you are right now. Because what do you think they'll do to you for talking about it on the internet? That's not how dictatorships work. What if you kid wanna be when she grows up? Mm, Last time I checked, it was like either veterinarian or a hairstylist for dogs. I think we're still in between those two. Heaven forbid, I try to tell her you can be a hairstylist for dogs while becoming a veterinarian. I want that advice. Again, they are doing crazy stuff, and I'm not saying it's beyond the US government to do that. I'm just saying you wouldn't be casually talking about it. You wouldn't be casually no, no. If they were just in mass slaughtering people right now, like if the US government was taking people and dropping them off in the middle of the ocean, you would not know about it. Just like if anyone on the internet calling somebody else a psychological operation had even accidentally stumbled into the fact that that was true, they'd be in prison. So, like, this is what I've been trying to tell you. Like, this is the same thing about the steak and lobster meals. This is the same thing about drones. This is the same thing I used to tell my dad when Homeland was coming out and I was an intelligence officer and he would be like, "Is this real?" I'd be like, "Dad, either it's not real or I can't tell you about it." Like, that's the answer. Nobody that knows about drones is on the internet talking to you about drones. Nobody that knows anything about how the government does psychological operations is on the internet talking to you about how the government does psychological operations. All of that stuff is secret, and those secrets are weaponized by our government. Nobody that's talking to you about sleeper cells has ever freaking cracked terrorist cells. Stop. Okay. Real food. Making peanut butter sandwiches, and that sounds good. Yeah. Yeah. Like when the government and this is what I keep telling people, like why everybody is not studying Latin American dictatorships right now so hard is baffles me. It's almost like we want to just jump straight to Germany so we don't actually have to educate ourselves. But like when a government tyrant is going around disappearing people, you're not just openly talking about it on the internet, right? Like they still wear mostly gray and black in Chile to not stand out. And by the way, if you really thought they were doing that, you yourself personally should be marching on the Capitol right now. Otherwise, everyone's kind of despicable. You really truly think your government is just murdering people in the middle of the ocean? You should be marching on the Capitol with your own personal friends. I have recommended the dictatorship in Brazil since the beginning of this experience that we're all in. But Chile is also right there, as is Venezuela. However, Brazil is the most similar to us in size and in having guns. Uh, and they tried to disarm Brazil. That's another fun story because that happened in the 90s. That was post dictatorship, even.
Oh my god.
So, yeah,
I've been going since 10.
I know. I'm stopping, but I did a lot. All right. What else?